Hello, everyone. Welcome to PFF TV. I'm Solomon Wilcots, along with Pro Football Focus data scientist Eric Eager. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to have a great conversation because we all know that over the past few years, the running back position has been devalued. But when we look at Ezekiel Elliott and what he's done in his first 3 years of his career, he has been a guy that's had well over 100 yards per game for his 40 career games within those 3 years. He's 24 years old, Eric. Why should he have to have another 300 touches in 2019 and wait to get his money next year? I believe the holdout is justified. I believe he holds the leverage.
I mean, for him, certainly, it makes a ton of sense for him to hold out because, as you said, another year with 300, 400 touches is just going to put another year on that odometer for him. The question really is should Dallas buy into him, right? We know that he is, nominally the focal point of that offense, but at the end of the day, running backs make it difficult for you to have a great offense with the running back being the focal point. Dallas last season was just 21st in yards per play offensively. He is the focal point, but that offense just simply isn't good despite how good he is as a running back.
So, yeah, there's no doubt the offense is built around Ezekiel Elliott. I think he knows that. That's why he's hanging out in Cabo San Lucas. He's saying, look, if you want me to show up, give me a new deal. Todd Gurley got a new contract after his 3 years in the NFL. Ezekiel Elliott is looking at the 3 years behind him. He's looking at, as you talked about, them taking more tread off the tires. If he is not going to be the focal point of this offense, then how can they move forward? What is the true evaluator of what he truly means to this offense?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at them, the real difference in going from 2015 to 2016 was really the going up from an injured Romo, Matt Castle, Brandon Weeden to Dak Prescott, more so than it was going from Darren McFadden to Ezekiel Elliott. The quarterback position, getting efficiency there, is really where they're going to take the next steps offensively. We saw a little bit. Amari Cooper came in after their bye in a trade, really did help their offense, and that really gets to the point of Ezekiel Elliott and the investment in him. You still have to pay Dak Prescott if you think he's the franchise quarterback. Amari Cooper is an upcoming free agent. And then you go to the other side. One of the real reasons Dallas was extremely successful last year winning the NFC East was their defense, right? And Byron Jones, one of their most valuable players on their team, full stop, is going to be a free agent as well. So it just amounts to, unlike the Rams in some sense, they just simply don't have the free cash available to put some into the running back position.
Now, I know, as our data scientist, you believe that Ezekiel Elliott is a great running back. You're not taking anything away from him. But as we take a look at these numbers, I mentioned it, 40 games in 3 years. He's averaged 100 more yards rushing in every single game that he's played in. So how do we discern as to what is really getting done by Ezekiel Elliott? How much is attributed to the offensive line or maybe the scheme or the fact that the offense truly does lean on him?
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough thing because offensively, when the focal point is the running back, you see things like stacked boxes. You see more 7- and 8-man boxes. You see, more teams focusing on the running back. And what we've shown is that basically it's offensive line play, and as measured by our grades, and the box count dictates how well an offense does in the running game far more than how good the running back is. So then the question becomes, how interchangeable are these guys, and should Dallas buy into one that is no doubt very good, but maybe not going to give you the output all that much different than somebody like the guy they just signed yesterday in Alfred Morris?
So with a great offensive line, they're going to get, no matter who the runner is, they're going to get the runner to a certain level of the defense. And then it's after that, maybe yards after the contact, where the running back, his true measure is probably what he is doing after contact. Is that the point?
Yeah, and we've seen that. I mean, Zeke was very good, historically in terms of yards per rush after contact. He was a little lower last season, below some of the truly great runners in the league last season. Another place where he's improved, though, is catching the football. If you want to make an argument for Zeke, it's really his efficiency in the passing game, which has gotten better season after season. But again, there's still this question about how much more valuable is he over a replacement running back? And we've just found it's somewhere around a quarter of a win, nowhere more than a half a win. And the question for Dallas is how much are you going to pay for that fraction of a win next season, in 2019?
So I guess what we're saying here is that if the Cowboys are going to continue to lean on their running back, Ezekiel Elliott, as they have done in the previous 3 years, then they got to go ahead and pay him now, because there's no way this offense can operate the same when it's built around the running back if he is not there. If they're going to play without him and presume that, okay, he's not worth paying the money that we see the other top running backs getting, that means they're going to have to transform this offense, build it more around Dak Prescott, more around Amari Cooper, more around an aging Jason Witten. If they are going to play differently, that's the only way that this team can truly win without the presence of Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a sound move, right? The NFL is moving towards the passing game. Dak Prescott hasn't been an elite quarterback over the past 2 years, but he's certainly good, relative to his draft position and probably what they can end up paying for him. And the other thing is, again, when you have Cooper in the fold, Michael Gallup was a draft pick last year. They probably do need some work at the tight end position where they're aging. But again, like the NFL is moving towards passing efficiency, which is why we saw last year, as good as Zeke was, rushing champion, over 4 yards a carry, they were still a bottom third offense in terms of yards per play, because that's simply just not the way to win in today's NFL.
Still wasn't enough to win a championship. You can win the division, but if you're going to go deep in the playoffs and win a championship, you're probably going to have to be more diversified within the offense beyond what the running back can give you. So Dallas have a choice. Either pay Ezekiel Elliott and continue to play the same style of football that they have played over the last 2 years, or they're going to have to quickly evolve and build it around Dak Prescott, who wants his $30 million a year. So they're going to have to pay someone and decide exactly how they're going to play football in 2019 and beyond. This has been a great conversation to have. You can get more of what Eric is talking about by going to the website at pff.com. Of course, he is our data scientist, kicking some great knowledge here on PFF TV. For Eric Eager, I'm Solomon Wilcots. Thanks for joining us.